finding your truth and letting everyone know, shouting it out.
Love it.
So yeah, and take as much time. We have these furry friendly guides here around the park, and we have some yoga bottoms and for yoga poses if you want to practice some yoga, and some yoga mats. So yeah, it's really designed to just practice at your own pace.
This is awesome.
I love it.
And is there a certain way one navigates through the space, or like a right way to go?
Well, I started it with starting at Feelings Fort, just kind of a way to start off your meditation, just kind of acknowledging how you're feeling. And then from there, you can go to the manifesting mound, or you can take a chance on that little hill up there. There's a little surprise on that hill. And then you can end
I was trying to get
at
my
the truth top, where you can find your truth. You can, find any points of gratitude, and also throw that out. What are you thankful for?
I love it. Maybe we can walk through it with you and experience it with you.
Sure.
That would be wonderful.
We'll start here. And the thing about climbing up these stairs and these pathways is that I really wanted it to kind of mirror life. It's never a straight line in life. So there's a lot of turns and
Oh, where's my legs are still here.
Oh, cute.
You know what? This is my favorite word.
Oops. Uh-oh.
Which word is it? Inspire.
And then my second favorite word has two meanings, right? It's content. Like I create content.
Yeah.
But then I'm also content.
That's right. Yeah.
What do you guys feel?
Anxious right now, so I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah. Do you really? Oh my god.
Yeah.
I love you. Let me get a picture.
Want to choose a word and throw
Let me
it
get a
out?
picture of you. Hold on.
Oops. Oh no. Where'd it go? There we go.
Find your feelings.
There we go. Oh, kind of
Oh, little cat is so cute. It sounds like Gizmo.
Where does that sound? That Gizmo sound come from?
The little cute creature with us.
Oh, this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
the
goodness.
little puppers.
yeah, that's
Okay.
my friend's dog,
Oops,
Jack.
I'm accidentally grabbing everything.
aw.
The rainbow is awesome.
Was there ever a time in your life that you needed to hold on to your feelings and cast them out? Throw them out?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did a lot of work this summer, while we're in the lockdown, and that's actually how all of this came about, was working with somebody to really help me with just these issues that I was having, basically issues of control and, stress and
Oops, that
always
was an
what if,
accident.
and so we were just doing these exercises, and it all just kind of made sense, and it all clicked. And I thought, well, if I can find help in this, then surely it could help other people.
Yes.
I love it. I'm making a mess, and I don't have to clean it up because it's gonna get cleaned up by our AI.
Does
This is so
oh
fun.
nice. That was going to be my question. Does this
Whoa.
room clean up after itself?
Oh, that was weird.
Oh yeah, it reset, totally resets.
Okay, so there's something up there. We can get up there to do something up there.
Sure.
Is that like heaven?
Yeah.
Nirvana?
It's
Lead
love
us
this.
to the
Okay,
next
what's-
spot.
Okay.
Oh, sorry,
Oh, sorry, I
I'm the
didn't mean to cut
ADD
you.
kid here. Sorry.
No, I'm with you. Come on.
So, if you want to wish upon a star, you can come up here and grab a star.
Oh my god. I love this, Leslie. This is so perfect. When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you. I wish all the best for everybody here.
Hmm.
Oh, I love watching it go. I love how you did the dog and the cats.
The dog is adorable.
It's very different than what I've seen, and I love it. Adorable.
Would you like to throw a star? I wish
This is really fun.
everybody good health and wellness in this world.
Oh, I love the throwing star.
I know, it's fun, right? Makes you less anxious, right? Bad chick?
It does.
You go, Paige.
It does.
Thank you. Good. I didn't want my wish not to come true.
Okay.
There
and
we
then,
go.
Here's some bottom.
That's in. Thank
So
you.
grabbing this.
Oh,
Ooh, I
that's
got
where the
some
bottom
bottom
came
top.
from. Oh, that's
Oh.
They're a little.
Yeah, some yoga legs and yoga mats.
Here's Roku.
Take a chance,
Yeah,
step
just
up.
hop on here and find a little
Oh, look, it popped up right when I got on here. Very nice. I like it.
If you take a chance in life, you get good rewards, don't you?
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
You
Tell
reach
us.
new
That's
heights.
excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
I'm taking a
awesome.
picture.
That's awesome.
What is this pose called?
Vinyasa.
Good question. What is it called?
Mm-hmm. Well, you're doing a good pose too, Navah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing the
Mhm.
tree pose, yeah.
Tree pose.
That's always been my favorite one.
Kat, would you like to try one of these poses?
Oh, I left my legs over there. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Story of my life.
Come back for your legs. Hello. Would you like to join us with some legs?
Yeah, I
She's got
Your
legs.
intro.
You're welcome to
She knows how to use them.
Enjoy your legs.
it's I've always wanted to be
Yeah,
able to do a
thank you.
headstand, and this is how I do my headstand. It's sort of a shortcut way to get into the pose, actually. So it's very
I
good.
like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I like that too. So
We actually have more up there. So we have
Okay, let's do
more,
it. Let's.
okay.
If you change your
Take
mind,
us
I'm the
along.
first in line. Honey, I'm still free. Take a chance on me.
apomorph. How does this look? Does this look? Is this good? Is this good? Sorry.
Seems a
Did I
little
just
unhealthy to
glitch?
have your legs out of your head.
I'm going to
is
climb
I
it.
really wanted this to be like the path in life. You know, sometimes it's steep and sometimes you fall off. And when you do, you just
That is. That's true.
Oh, I'm nervous. I feel vulnerable. Am I gonna fall? Oh, ooh, ooh. Oh no! I got it.
and
I made it. Thank you, little Stitch. Yeah. Oh. I'll put my walking pole here.
Alright, what button do you push to take the picture?
Oh, I might switch my poles.
Miss Casper,
Hi, are you
I'm in the
I just
right
needed
pose.
to be talking to myself like this.
That feels good.
I'm so funny. Yeah.
Yeah, don't you feel?
How do I get?
Don't you feel that stretch? Yeah,
Good
yeah.
stretch, Paige.
Thank you. I like this world, and I think that yoga classes here would be great.
Yeah, you know,
I
so
am
I was
unique.
thinking, yeah, I'm trying to get that
Oh,
going.
the names are there. That's
my
very
goodness.
cool.
And I am a genius. That's right,
I
because
think this one matches
I
my
am owning my truth.
shirt.
Oh yeah,
What do you
looks
think?
very good. In triangle pose.
Yes. So I'm a unique genius, and I celebrate the truth of that on Women's International Day. I thank
Nice.
Leslie at Meditation Mountain for giving me this opportunity to claim my inheritance and truth. I think that's really important. Some cultures, when you are announced in a room, your whole titles and your ancestry and your legacy is shared, right? And we don't introduce our truths enough, right? So Kathy Heichel said that one should be their best brand ambassador, and I believe in that. That when we find our voice is like we can own our regality and our impact in the world. Yes, look at that pose. Look at that stretch you've got. And tell us you're stretching deep. This is the most fun. Would Kat, I recognize these in you as well. You are also
generous.
unique and a genius. May I share these with you?
Thank you. I'm a genie.
Yes.
I'm
yes,
a genie,
you
guys.
are.
I'm a genie.
In a bottle?
Yeah. Except I wear purple. Baby.
Okay.
I wish.
I
I
like
like well
the
anyway.
green.
That's
I like the green girl.
That's funny.
Oh, I like these ones because of the pink leg warmers,
Yeah, I did too. That's so funny.
which is, yeah, that's what I've been knitting all winter, are pink leg warmers. I'm literally wearing some right now that I knit.
That's awesome.
This is such a fun world.
Thank you. They made
Leslie.
me feel cheerful in
Oh, thank you.
the heaviness
We'll take
and doldrums
selfies.
of
Hold on,
winter.
wait. I'm gonna come back.
So this is an amazing world. I'm loving this.
It really is.
Oh, let's take a selfie.
Okay.
Yeah, a group
Yes.
selfie with these legs.
Oh yeah.
Yes. She's
Yeah.
got legs. She knows how to use them.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna reposition my legs. Come join us. Yeah, wait, everyone together.
Ready? Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yay! Oh,
Yeah.
well, thank you all for coming.
Little mudra.
Thank
you.
for
This was
creating
awesome.
this.
Oh,
I
that's
love
cute.
it. I kind of don't want to
So
leave.
adorable. That might be my favorite picture
That's
of the
fun.
night.
That
Can
is
you share
actually
that?
really adorable.
Oh, let's see.
The photographer.
So cute.
Oh,
I
it's
wish there was a way we
excellent.
could post these pictures
You can.
in the world. In the
Oh,
world.
I know.
Oh,
Oh, in
here
the
our
world would be
world.
awesome. Yeah, that would be cool.
Ah.
Yeah, that I definitely
would you like
would
to
love
try
that.
some yoga legs? It's kind of
Oh,
fun.
sure. Sure.
Yeah, like one finds themselves stretching in totally new ways.
Yeah,
There's a
exactly.
leg. Yeah. Oh, I'm kind of digging this
May I
one,
try
too.
that?
I
May I
might
try
switch
these?
to
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, it's like a Viking hat.
Yes. Yeah.
Does it work? Does it work? It
No,
Okay.
not sticking to
Legs
to
only,
your-
huh? All right.
yeah, legs
Yeah.
only.
Those are cute.
It's a legs only club.
These yellow ones would look great with that
Did you
jacket.
find some? Did you find your
I'm
your
trying to
key
adjust it
legs?
on you.
Legs.
The shoes are super good too.
Yeah, right
They're
there.
like these
No.
slip-on teal things.
Would you like some legs?
Couldn't get him
The
to
yoga
stay.
toes?
Let's see.
She's
Yeah,
got
kind of
legs.
connected to your torso.
Let's see.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Just
nice.
Stand up.
Sometimes
Oh, that's
legs
cute.
Oh,
just
there we
go
go.
right. Yeah,
Now it's
Leslie,
working.
well done.
Okay.
Oh my
May I
god,
adjust
so
it?
cute.
Sure.
May I?
thank
May I?
you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
hard for me to
it's-
get it to.
Look at that teamwork.
Is that better?
Oh, that's cute.
Or is it
Yeah,
going on my
that's
head?
real cute.
Is it up on my head? Now I
Let me
need a
get- let
selfie.
me just- Oh, I didn't see it. I couldn't see it. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
I have legs.
Nava,
That's awesome.
Yes.
how do you feel if we just invite everyone to the next world for the World Hop?
Yeah.
I feel good about that.
Fantastic.
Is it
Okay,
9:33?
let's.
Still got a little battery.
I'll meet you guys there.
Okay, we're going to go to the next world for our World Hop, which is called Purple Flower Survivors. And Purple Flower Survivors is a world in that I will tell you about when we get there. So we're able. I recommend that we don't party up, just in case it screws up any audio for the live streamers tonight, and we just find it and follow each other there. So everyone, I look forward to seeing you shortly at Purple Flower Survivors.
Sweet.
Alrighty.
Good. Thanks,
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for coming.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
Thank you,
Leslie.
Thank you.
This was
Come back
great.
anytime.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oops.
Flowers. Headed there.
There we go. Okay. See y'all.
Live, and I'll tell you about the room as soon as our group is here.
Oh my gosh, the fish are great.
I love the
Oh,
fish.
I love these orchids.
Yeah, thank you. So, most of us are here. I know Nava's on her way, and I'll tell you, I'd love to introduce this room to you. Purple Flower Survivors is a community-created world that was a response to one of our community members who was in crisis. As a survivor of domestic violence, I was able to rally a community of support through the creative world building processes here in VR, as a way to show that the survivor is not alone and also part of a community. I'd like to first just take a moment to acknowledge that even when one is in virtual reality, that the being that I am I am occupying right now, whether I'm in physical space or in VR space, is on Indigenous land. And if I could just have a reflection with the group for a moment that as a person who is on Indigenous land, as we're in International Women's Day, to just have a moment of honoring the murdered and missing Indigenous women, trans lives, and people around the world who have been impacted by violence this year in across diverse communities, but also that COVID has accelerated creating vulnerable violence that has impacted the domestic violence community, and that's a intersectional global experience that happens to actually 1 in 4 presenting women and 1 in 7 presenting men, or self-identifying as men. And really this year has been tragic for the LGBTQ and trans community. So as we experience this room, I just want to thank you for allowing me to share that. Well, while we create space, that we do so, I do so with a reverence that that I do so for people also without voice or opportunity to share their experiences. So Better World Museum's very first ever VR experience started out with Purple Flower Survivors in 2016. I didn't have an Oculus at that time, but just an iPad with a drawing software that I co-designed. And with a couple of iPads, I would go weekly and sometimes more than once a week to a domestic violence shelter and draw purple flowers with members there in a little tiny side room. I'd bring some fruit and some pretzels and kind of coax people in after their group meetings to draw on this iPad. And no one really shared their story with me, nor I shared my story with them, but just through the act of drawing a simple flower with each other and handing it back to each other was an act of recognition. And at that time, over 65 survivors of violence drew a purple flower, and we imported it with the help of Seth Gibson and Hattie Ball. We created, it was also our first collaboration with other artists. So we used Unity and created a YouTube video that could be watched through a cardboard VR set at the time. And it transitioned into the VR garden, which is now, everyone in the world has some forms of trauma. So my trauma started with sharing a story of domestic violence, but through that process and experience, I realized that there's not one among us who's not carrying on to grief, pain, trauma, and loss in some incredible ways. And the VR garden started out of the Purple Flower Survivors. VR garden went on to include over 4,000 people who learned how to draw in a garden in VR for the very first time. So this is an extension of Purple Flower Survivors and what could be created in a really rapid, like just a couple of days, it just happened. And community members gave an outpouring of their testimony and truth within adding collaboration, being able to import their works as well. So there's not names by the works that were imported, but many Horizon creators are part of this creation. So it goes to share that there's many among us that share a survivorship and also resiliency and also allyship. So it takes all of us in our community. And thank you for allowing me to share that with you. So
Thank
Purple
you so much,
Flower
Paige.
Survivors.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paige.
Yeah, absolutely. I spend a lot of time in VR creating gardens and museums and other worlds in order to all have the same thing, which is to create more individual, group, and community resilience. And that stems really from this, my first VR experience in using technology in this way to create community. So thank you. I'll give you a little tour. One can sit at this reflection bench and watch some beautiful fish. One is able to sit in some hot springs.
Oh,
I love hot
nice.
springs.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, and so
So relaxing.
there's not much to do here other than to feel safe, and for some members who are impacted to
Hi.
meet here to talk and to convene in a safe, empathetic space. So there's not any more of, there's not a game here or anything really interactive, except for our hearts and our opportunity to share safe space with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if
I'll
everybody
share
wants,
some
if they're
colors.
enjoying themselves, make sure when you're in the home screen that you like, or when you turn on your, the 3 bars to like it if you're enjoying yourself. Happy International
Yes.
Women's Day, everybody.
Yes, happy
Yes.
International Women's Day.
These flowers are so
Absolutely.
great.
Today's
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, these are so great. My gosh, I love
Oh my
these.
goodness. I can't
They
get over these
really
orchids.
the creators who made them, I respect their anonymity and their privacy, but each one of them was a generous share and really a trust. They trusted me in sharing their work, and it just felt so honoring to be able to include it and create space for more. So right now this world is at full capacity, but that doesn't mean that we've solved violence, right? So potentially this world can grow with doors, but hopefully it can stand for creating change. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Thank you. There are some doors to some other spaces, back to women and creators. There's also some places also for women in
Purple Flower Survivors was first created in 2016 by Better World Museum, including 65 survivors of domestic violence. Together, we used creative technology to create a VR and empathy and safe space experience. Today, Purple Flower Survivors is being recreated by community members inside of Facebook Horizon.
Yeah. Thank you for capturing and sharing this story. Navah, what's next on our world hop? Is Navah in the world? Oh, they're far away.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, let's gather. Let's gather together for our next destination in our world hop. Yeah.
This is so nice, Paige. I just really love it here.
Thank you.
I feel good here.
It's a good space.
Okay. Good.
You know what?
Thank you. Then I won't rush us.
No,
I won't
don't.
rush us.
Don't rush us.
Okay.
I think it's really nice. It's really just such a wonderful, beautiful. This could really help people. It's really nice. It's just touching. How come you never talk about this world? Sorry. I just really love it. I didn't even really know about this world, and I waited to see it until tonight.
So, you know, being a survivor of violence, it's hard to talk about. And it's triggery, it's taboo, it's a subject that people don't really want to hear. So, you know, it's you know, one of those harder subjects. But as the first time I shared the story was actually on a stage in front of 200 media channels. And so it was like a really, it was at the Facebook Safety and Wellness Summit in New York, and it was a very small audience of about 150 to 200 media outlets, and it was like a giant leap of feeling vulnerable and going with it. And since I first shared some details of that story, what's happened is that it's allowed more people to find their voices. And so we even heard within our discussions today in our interviews how important it is to tell your story, because it becomes a platform of a way to facilitate, create a bridge for more people to find their voice, right? So social media allows that, but VR allows that even easier, because you know, an avatar is very safe. But sometimes when we stand on a stage, now I've said it probably 100 times on 100 stages since then, and each time I know that it's reaching out to the audience and creating change. It's stopping it. Yeah.
I want to give you a hug.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you
so much for sharing.
Thank you. So there has been a person in crisis in VR, and this has been like a place where we just kind of meet every once in a while and talk, and that person feels safe here, right? And so hopefully this space can provide that kind of safety for more people in the world. In VR horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So of all the worlds in the world that I've created in Horizon, I didn't necessarily consider sharing this, because it's not like, you know, it's like my inside, not my outer, like, museum. I can do a lot of my work through my museum, and even creating a museum came out of this. But you know, it's a place. Both are places of safety for me.
Paige, I have a question. Why is it called Purple Flowers?
Oh, that's such a great question. Well, the ribbon for Domestic Abuse Awareness Month, which is October, is a purple ribbon. And I thought, well, why not? Purple ribbon is awesome. Let's turn that into a field of flowers across the world.
You created a VR garden with a lot of flowers in tilt brush, right?
Yes, that's right.
And this has a different feeling of that, but I love who doesn't love flowers? Raise your hand.
So Purple Flower Survivors preceded the VR garden. It's like infant. In 2016, it was our very first VR experience that we created, this empathy world. You can still find it. If you go to Purple Flower Survivors on YouTube, you'll be able to see what we created. We also created, our team of Seth Gibson and Hattie Ball and I, we also created an interactive video for their website. So when somebody made a donation, a bee would fly in and pollinate the flowers with facts as a reward for the person making a donation. And both of those videos are there on YouTube and our website at Better World Museum. And shortly thereafter, I was a community member donated an Oculus Rift to Better World Museum. And the very first day, I drew a flower and I posted it on social media, inviting anyone in the world to add to it. Somebody then walked into the museum and I told them what I did. And they said, literally, like quoting here, that I just did something stupid and that I opened myself up to the worst of the internet. And I thanked them, but I said, no, I know we're in a horrible, state of the world. At that time, we had a new bad president, and there was like police violence, there was killings, there was Me Too, there's everything that was happening in 2016 that was and is still proliferating today. I'm here in Minneapolis on Indigenous land, where right now 3 blocks away from me have been peaceful protests all day over the more police violence with the trial over the officer that killed George Floyd. So violence is systemic in our like United States and our world, and we need to use our voices to stop it, whether it's domestic violence, racial violence, gender violence, sexual violence. It all has to change. The violence in families that abuse each other or outwards, and this is my way of saying no more. And VR Garden really was a way to include everybody else in that, in saying no more, in making a better world together. So it holds space for each other, right? When we draw a flower, create a tree, or little stepping stones, what we're really doing is creating equitable space, right? I see your flower and recognize its importance and its value, right? And that's what VR Garden really did. It included over 4,000 people all around the world. It traveled to Asia and Miami and New York and Singapore and China, and I was really able to include women and students and at home, a lot of our Indigenous teens, and as a volunteer at the Best Buy Teen Tech Lab. All of these projects became offshoots of the VR Garden, even at the MIT Reality Hack.
I was going to ask you were the one who went around and did the sunflowers, right?
Yeah, we all drew dandelions to show each other that a dandelion is like hated, right? People try to always exterminate them, but they're so valuable. They're edible and medicinal and of true value. And that's what happens. Like, people discard other people right? By their violence, but those people have value. And by recognizing that and creating, the opportunity to share your beautiful dandelion and be seen and glorious, is a practice that I feel gratitude for, because it's created real life relationships and impact around the world. So good things.
Yay.
Yeah.
When you,
so
if somebody wants to create a flower for you, what would they have to do?
All they have to do right here on this sign, it says, create a purple flower in a new world and tag Better World Museum to import. And if people wanted to do that, that would be fantastic, because it would allow a second world of purple flowers to start. This room is currently at capacity, but I can also delete some of my random flowers here, so there's room. I just put some random ones up here, but there's always ways to add more, even if I have to build a whole nother room to accommodate it. So Horizon allows this to be infinite.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I have another question.
Sure.
If somebody is going through domestic violence, but they don't know how to talk about it or what to do or how, what would you, being as though you've experienced it, what would you tell them to do or help them?
I would tell them to call the National Domestic Abuse Hotline right here on this sign, this card, and also to be aware of what abuse might look like. Not all abuse is physical. Some can use violent words, or financial abuse, or abuse through court systems, or withholding, or abuse towards a pet. There are warning signs, and if one starts to see those warning signs, to reach out into their community. Every community has a domestic abuse resource shelter, and also to vote for lawmakers that are working for diverse and equitable justice. And watch out for each other. If you see somebody who you think is doing really well, but who may be quiet, check in with them. Check in and just say, hey, how are you doing? I notice you've been a little silent lately, or you've been stepping back, or, how can I best support you without, and also, I would say use Facebook. Facebook must have survivor groups, community groups for men, women, and trans and LGBTQ community members, and teens and elders. So I would imagine that Facebook is the right place. When I experienced violence, there was not Facebook. I didn't even have a cell phone. There was no such thing. And so when I first got into social media in around 2010-ish or so, I saw it immediately as a tool that could create community. But, I didn't share my story. I kept it inside. I used other ways to disguise it, whether my work in museums or work building other communities. It was always sort of like just under wraps. I wasn't sharing that yet. I didn't have the tools to do so. But as I used creative technology more and more, I saw that I wanted to. I knew that that was going to be my tool in dispelling the stigmas that follow and creating community to make more resilient people. You know, I don't really feel so impacted or so triggered. I feel like I've had an incredible opportunity to share story, to use technology to create communities, and to, you know, go through like a great resilience healing. And that came from building worlds with people and using creative technology and talking about it. So, you know, today I just have so many tools of support in my belt that if I was impacted, I know that I would use technology.
Was first created in 2016 by Better World Museum,
that was a little,
including 65 survivors of domestic violence.
When
Together
player
we used
enters,
technology to create
play sound.
and empathy.
Yeah, I have something I can show you something on that. If you edit the sound to say not global,
being recreated.
Yeah,
just
I
edit
have
it
to
from
change
global.
it from global. Yeah,
right.
I
know
make
I did
it,
the same.
Yeah,
when I back in the day, they didn't know that, but
yeah, we didn't know that back then, and this room could use a little freshening on some of that.
I think it's
so
beautiful.
It was good to I've had one other large meeting here, and that was when a member was in crisis here. A whole bunch of people came just like this and rallied around this person and created sort of a group network to help support them. Some people followed up with legal advice. Some people offered like first responding, like, what can you do now advice. Some people rallied together with women's resources. So it really became a place for our Horizon community to meet and take action. This person didn't feel alone and knew that a whole bunch of people were with them. And I mean, goodness, if I had that at the time of my experience, then it wouldn't have been so hard. It wouldn't have been so lonely. I wouldn't have probably had such post-traumatic stress, right? So technology is a wonderful tool, and we have the opportunity to use it in strong ways. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
I know.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
I feel like we started the day with grapes, purple grapes.
Purple
and then
grapes.
we ended it with purple flowers.
Oh, we're not done yet.
So nice.
We have more world hops back at our women VR creators world. We have a whole bunch more doors. Can you share us? We have an egg hunt. We have have Queen's Gambit. We have just a whole bunch of really cool spaces. Let's go. Winter cabin.
Yeah.
Right?
Cool.
Ooh, yeah. So these are all women's creator rooms. Let's go to them. We can go through one of these doors to